All right, welcome. Episode 11, Feeney Talks with Friends. It's going to be a great podcast today. I just want to review that we had episode 10. It was a monumental day. We celebrated with donuts and Irene from Donut Crazy. So it was a great, and I can't believe we're still going till 11. And I also want to thank, it's very important that I try to thank someone every episode, but this one goes out into the entire West Hartford community. We recently had a fundraiser for someone that had a house fire and lost a loved one, and over 400 people in the community donated, and we raised $25,000. It's truly a remarkable community, and people coming together. So that family will get $25,000, and I like to thank the West Hartford community because Friends of Feeney, our mission is to help children and families that have heartbreak or tragedy. And we have currently have another one going for a family at school. They lost their dad, and there's a funny connection. When I started this, I had a fifth grader who lost their dad, and currently there is a fifth grader that lost their dad. So we're trying to do everything we can for that family as well. And without further ado, we're going to have a long, educated podcast. I have a great guest. He's one of my role models. He's one of my good friends. He's one of the person that has volunteered the most for our Friends of Feeney events, and I'm very excited that he's here.
Thank you, Eric.
My man, Marty Party.
Thank you so much for the invite. Yeah. It's really exciting to be here, and I'm excited to hear the outpouring of love and support that that family's going to get. And, that's one of the reasons why I got involved with your group in the first place was because you're helping people right there on the streets rather than some ethereal topic. So I love that. Congratulations.
Thanks, Marty. Yeah, and it can't happen without community members that care and people that want to do positive things in the community. And you are definitely one of those people who do positive things. Taught for 44 years, Marty. 44.
I know. Unbelievable. It was a wonderful time. Education, the teaching profession gave me an opportunity to travel, to teach in different places. So there was a real cultural experiment for me as well to be able to go to different communities, whether they were rich or poor. Yep. So that was a nice thing. I didn't keep myself stuck in one place for 44 years. I taught in a number of places. So, in that, I not only developed those communities to the best I could with their children, but, developed myself. So I feel good about that.
Did you start down south somewhere, right?
I did. I started in the southwestern portion of Virginia in what people would consider the coal fields. The coal fields are closed now. My elementary school was on a reclaimed strip mine in Norton, Virginia, down in the corner there of Virginia's interesting geographic shape. So we were an hour from Tennessee, an hour from West Virginia. So it was a rather interesting cultural dynamic going on down there for a northern boy.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Are you from up here originally?
Yeah, born and raised in West Hartford. Went to school in West Hartford. Graduated Conard, 1971. Getting ready for our 50th high school reunion this coming September. So hopefully things will settle down enough where we can get together and see one another. But West Hartford guy, moved away for a number of years and then came back, and now I've gotten involved in my retirement years in community service.
Wow, that's amazing. And then you ended your career teaching in West Hartford.
Correct.
Right?
Yeah.
You bounced around a couple elementary schools.
Elementary school, middle school. Yeah. Ended up with my 12-year-old sixth grader. So I found my niche after a number of years.
And you said you had the opportunity of traveling. You definitely have some really cool collectibles from your travels. Anyone you want to share? Or
Well, when I was transferring or actually transitioning to Fairfax County, Virginia, from Wise County, Virginia, which is the yin and yang of economics in Virginia, I took that summer to take a trip around the world. So that was the summer of '81. And so I took a trip. It was a special promotion that was being put out by Pan Am at the time, around the world in 80 days kind of thing.
Oh, wow.
So I had 80 days to go in one direction around the world. And so I did that in a matter of 38 days. And so you had to continue going in the same direction. So I headed west and had a chance to see some really cool things. But my ultimate goal was Kathmandu, along the way, and I had a chance to spend 10 days up there. So, I got a chance to see the roof of the world.
Wow.
So that was pretty cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Now, what about some artifacts? I played this game. It's called First, Last, Best, Worst.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a lot of collectibles. I've seen them.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about your first one, your last one, your best one, and your worst one?
Sure. Let's. I think the first.
You can go any order you want.
Yeah. Well, I'd say that I like art.
Okay.
So anytime there's a visual art that I can take from a place, particularly when you're traveling around the world, you can't be lugging around a bunch of stuff. So I would find things that I could at least roll in my backpack or do whatever I could. So when I was in Japan, I picked up some lovely pieces of work, water prints, like woodblock print kind of thing that were more traditional, which I proudly display. When I was in Thailand, you saw those carved water buffalo horns that I have, which I was lucky to stay with a family in Thailand that had access to the Air Force Post Office. So I was able to ship, the bigger items home.
Okay.
So they were waiting for me when I got here to West Hartford. But I kind of chucked around with all the pieces of art. So the art is cool. And it gives me a chance to reminisce in my own mind.
Yeah.
And that kind of a trip helped me in my teaching, because there wasn't really a day that didn't go by where I could relate something culturally to something that I personally experienced. So that was always a good thing for me that way as well. And then I used artifacts, in my teaching. Teaching social studies, was certainly a cultural experience for whatever group you were trying to do. And I personally got more involved with the Inuit culture when I taught it with the kids, more so than some of the other things that I had. But the Inuit also were very much an interest of mine, and I was able to pick up some artifacts, stone carvings.
Okay.
Yeah, carvings from them and such. I got them online. It wasn't like something I could go to, but I'd love to go north and see the Aurora Borealis sometime.
Do you have a favorite piece?
Right now, my favorite piece is something that I just had commissioned. I have a friend of mine who's a remarkable artist, and we was over one day and saw that I had a rather large space over my fireplace that could use some work, and so I commissioned him to do a piece that sort of represented for me that Appalachian, Blue Ridge Mountain feel, that kind of stayed within the color scheme that I had in my home. And it just came out beautifully. So then I had.
Do I know that person?
I don't know if you've met him at all, but Mark LaPointe.
No.
Mark LaPointe, he's over at Sedgwick Middle School.
Okay.
And he did a beautiful job, so I had it framed, and now it's proudly over my
Well, thank you, Mark.
fireplace.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So that could be your last one, too,
It
right?
could be my last one right now, yeah.
That's your last piece, too.
Yeah.
That's a fun game. Episode 1, Matt Dix, he's a storyteller. It's a storytelling thing. First, last, best, worst.
Like it.
And then after retirement, you're doing your community service.
Right.
You want to go into your current position that you hold for the community?
Volunteering as the president of the West Hartford Exchange Club. As you mentioned, upon my retirement, I was looking for something to do that would be, something that I could put my energy into and then feel fulfilled at the same time. And I was already involved with you because we had met through our Teachers Association, and I heard your story and heard about your group, and therefore I got involved with, I think it was the early days of the maker space and the parade float that we had for Park Road Parade. That was pretty cool. But there was also this other piece that I wasn't aware of that I was going to get involved in, but I got recruited by the president of the time of the West Hartford Exchange Club, Chris Hall, who's also an educator. We started talking about education, and the next thing we knew, we were, chit-chatting about a lot of things and invited to come to their meeting, and I came and met the required pieces of time that I needed to do to become a member, and now I'm their president. So I'm very, very proud about that, because it dovetails a lot of what you're trying to do. I know we have a little bit larger sphere of influence by being in the community and more of a regional, but we very much support what you're trying to do as well.
No, and I want to thank you, and I want to thank all the members of the Exchange Club that allowed me the opportunity to present about my mission and my passion of Friends of Feeney. And I got a good meal at Rockledge out of the deal. It was great. I think it was in November. It was in November 2019. And I had the PowerPoint presentation, slideshow. I knew like the Hall brothers. I knew Hayflick. I knew Dave. So it was great to see people that I knew.
Yeah.
And then like the best part of all, and the chicken cordon bleu was delicious. But on top of that, the Exchange Club surprised me and with a generous donation of a $500 check, and that meant a lot. I did not expect that.
Yeah.
And it was like one of my first, very generous donations.
Right.
So it was like, oh, wow,
Hopefully a good stepping off point for you.
It really was. It was a good stepping off point, and it was like, all right, I'll present. And it's number one, I wanted to share awareness in my mission,
right,
and try to bring in some volunteers, some supporters, and people came up and talked to me after. A couple people bought some hoodies. The hoodie that you're wearing right now, I think, was purchased there.
Sure.
So, but no, great people, good meal. You guys are the Exchange Club in the community. You help. You have like a focus and awards that you give out. Didn't you recently give out?
We recently had an opportunity to celebrate the police officer, the West Hartford Police Officer of the Year, Officer Bagan. That was in December. We had a lovely presentation outside the police department over there in West Hartford Center, along with the mayor and the town manager, myself, the chief of police, obviously the officer and his family, and some of the other officers.
Do you have a criteria or a rubric? How do you score? How do you pick police officers?
That was actually, we left that up to the police union.
Okay.
Because they oftentimes will recognize more than one. So we were able to recognize one of the officers that they had said would be representative of their department. And that was one of the comments I did make, though, in my comments, was that although this gentleman was certainly above and beyond some of the things that he was asked to do, I think all of those officers would have done the same thing, in terms of, their service, which is what we were really there to support, was the community service, of which the Exchange Club is very much a part of.
No, it's great that you get to do that.
Yeah, very much so.
Vern Riddick, Waterbury.
Oh.
Waterbury connection.
Yeah,
Chief. Big Chief. We both made it out. I was a teacher in Waterbury, and I'm a teacher in West Hartford. Yeah. He was the chief in Waterbury, now he's the chief in West Hartford. I taught his nephew, so we talk about him every time I see him.
Nice.
It's like, hey, remember me? I was Jordan's teacher. So it's pretty cool.
Yep, absolutely.
Actually, at the beginning of the school year, funny story, he's like, the first day of school, we go to Convocation, is it? He gets on there, and he's like, yeah, all my friends. And he's like, Eric. And he pauses, and I'm like, he's going to say it. And it was like the head of security.
Oh, okay.
Eric Nestor or something. And I was like, oh. I thought I was going to get a shout out from the chief
at
Convocation.
On Convocation. That'd have been sweet.
Eric, pause.
Yeah.
Nestor, head of security. Thank you for everything that you do. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
But yes.
Another cool thing that we did, we do annually. Well, we do the recognition of the police officer as well annually, but the Exchange Club is directly connected with a organization known as Kids Safe, and they're out in Holland, Vernon area. They have a safe home, if you will, where they help families that are struggling and have maybe some abuse or other kinds of challenges going on. And so we were able to meet the needs of the kids for Christmas. That's something that we do every year, is we get a wish list from those folks at Kids Safe. And so it kind of dovetails to what you're trying to do, in our own direct neighborhood.
Yeah.
So as I said, we have a little bit larger outreach, and the Exchange Club actually does have a focus point for a home where families can go and have a little shelter from the storm, if you will. So we were excited about that.
And you mentioned meeting the criteria. What's the criteria to become a member if a listener out here wants to become a member?
Well, once we start having our meetings again, they can certainly check us out on our website or even on our Facebook page. And we normally meet the first and third Wednesdays of each month over at the Rockledge Grill at the Country Club. And so primarily, if you're interested in coming, you make 3 meetings in a row. This kind of shows the commitment. So the first and third and first, however it works out, Wednesdays, and then we go from there. And we have you make your commitment to us as far as the opening ceremony or the pledge that you tend to take as being an Exchange Club member. And off we go. So we'd love to grow our membership. So if anybody has any interest in participating, they can certainly do that.
Definitely a great group, great food.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Great mission.
Great mission.
Yeah.
Great mission.
Yeah. So, all in all, retirement's been great. I'm working with you. I've got the Exchange Club, and I've also got some time to spend with my University of Virginia Alumni Association. I'm on the board of our alumni group here in the greater Hartford area. So the last couple of years, we've had a lot to cheer about.
Yeah.
So it's been a lot of fun doing that with my UVA Cavalier.
When you retired, they won it that year.
Correct, 19, yeah.
Because I was the MC at the recognition dinner, and I made sure, I'm like, I want to read Marty's
at my
to celebrate
dinner?
your retirement celebration. And that was definitely, congratulations on your big win.
Yep. Yeah, it was
Virginia.
exciting times, absolutely. So there's a whole different facet of the community that I can keep myself involved with,
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that.
Well, yeah, you mentioned a lot of volunteering activities. I have something to present to you to thank you. I just want to say that you definitely have volunteered for a lot of events. It started with the United Way Battle of the Badges. It was at the University of Hartford.
Yep.
Different police organizations and fire
Good
stations.
basketball tournament.
Yeah, it got physical. It was good,
Yeah.
some good talent there.
Yeah.
I think DEA had a team or FBI had a team.
Oh, yeah.
We had a booth off to the side, and we can talk about our mission. And then we were allowed to do the halftime show.
Right, we had
the
free
kids
throws and such.
free throws and layup contest,
Yeah.
which was great.
Yeah.
So that was thank you for being there for that. You helped with the booth. Then you volunteered for a Wolfpack game.
Yep, did a Wolfpack game.
We had a bus, and we picked up children and families from the Hillcrest neighborhood, and we just had tickets, supplied a bus, and we
had some coupons for the snacks
Yep.
for the kids.
Those were a hot item.
They always love those.
free food coupons.
Yeah.
Killed it. And then you also volunteered for the Miracle Field Trick or Treat.
That's right.
Miracle Field helps children and families that have disabilities.
Right. We moved a few books that day.
We gave out free candy and free books and had a photo booth.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
We definitely pushed. You were good pushing those books too.
We
You're like,
got
what do you
rid of
like? You like what topic? You like adventure? Take this book. Take this
Having
book.
stacked them 3 or 4 times, I knew what I had.
Take some books.
Yeah,
So we really, being a teacher, I wanted to push that education because every booth was giving candy. So
Sure.
I said, I got a nice donation of
Yeah,
books.
and there was no pushback either. The kids were eager to grab them.
Yeah.
And they said, I could have more than one. I said, absolutely.
Please take as many as you can.
Absolutely. So, and then the Makerspace one was cool.
Yeah,
and
then in
the
October, Makerspace,
Yeah.
which was a great day because we did Park Road Parade,
Right.
marched, had the trailer pulled by my buddy Josh. The kids were on top. It said, be a good friend in cardboard.
Yeah, hashtag, yeah.
Hashtag cardboard.
All made out of cardboard.
Yes. And then we went over to the Elmwood Community Center and had about 50 or 60 kids and over 1,000 pounds of cardboard. And the kids just built
the
whatever
stuff.
they wanted.
Yeah.
Pinball machines, house. The kids were going inside the house.
Yeah.
We had
Had the
live
little
music.
auction.
Oh yeah, we had the raffle.
Yeah.
I think you were pushing books then too.
Yeah, we had books for sure. And then we had the pizza and the French fries and whatever else was presented
pizza
by
from Pepe's.
Yeah.
It was chicken sliders and fries from Beachland Tavern.
Yeah.
So community coming together and
Absolutely.
helping out. And we were so mad that this year we went virtual with the Makerspace this year. We were making little kits and dropping them off to people's houses, and the kids can make them at home. And if they made them, they got the T-shirt.
Okay. Do you have another make something coming up pretty soon?
I know. If you're interested and you like the Makerspace, Wendy, who's running it, is running a every Friday Makerspace at Elmwood Community Center. So look up Elmwood Makers. There's a Facebook page. We'd love to. We're definitely going to collaborate again. Yeah, you even helped Wendy. We did a pre-event to help the kids build and get ready for the actual event, and you were helping volunteer then too.
The driveway.
Yep. We had a nice spread out into the driveway.
Yep.
So yeah, I want to thank you in true teacher fashion. This is a Star Award to Marty for volunteering and helping. And then Dynamite Job.
Okay.
This is the elementary school in me.
Very nice.
Marty, thank you for all your time and support. And you get some Be a Good Friend stickers.
Sweet.
But yes, again,
Put those on
6
my
or 7
refrigerator.
events that you were wonderful.
Thank you.
volunteering. I can't thank you enough. It means so much to me when we have people helping out, volunteering your time, supporting a good mission, helping the kids. So it definitely means a lot.
Yep.
I really appreciate it.
My pleasure, my friend. My pleasure.
And let's take a break here. This pause commercial break is for WeHa Coffee. So if you get this WeHa Coffee, Life on the Mountain blend, who is it? Jill. Jill was nice enough to send all the proceeds to a nonprofit organization, and she's choosing Friends of Feeney. So please check out Mountain WeHa Roasting Company. Oh no, Life on the Mountain.
That's the name of the flavor, Life on the Mountain?
It's the flavor, yeah. It's
Okay.
the WeHa Roasting Company in West Hartford, and the Life on the Mountain's the flavor.
And where are they located? Are they in West Hartford Center?
So they don't have a brick and mortar spot just
Okay.
yet, but Life on the Mountain. Thank you, Jill. Life on the Mountain's going to do an article on Friends of Feeney. They had this article about this in the January issue, and I just thank you for your support. I tried to be like a Truman Show. Remember the Wife and Truman Show?
Yeah.
Always doing ads.
Yeah.
Well, and he's like, who are you talking to? I try to, but Life on the Mountain blend.
All right.
Please check it out. I think we've sold 15 so far, but the proceeds are going to go to Friends of Feeney. It's delicious stuff.
So Life on the Mountain, if I go online, I'm going to find their website and I go from there.
Yep.
Okay.
That's good stuff.
All right.
I give this about 9.9
There
out
you
of
go.
10.
Sweet.
Cheers.
Blend those in with your donuts, and you got a
Yeah.
a new day
Go
going.
swing through a Crazy Donut and get some but it's good stuff.
Yep.
And might as well talk about another event we're doing. We just recently had a can and bottle drive at Gastro Park. It was phenomenal. The worst part about it was maybe 10 degrees. My hands were chapped. My toes were numb for like 3 days. But we filled up a 20-foot U-Haul full of cans and bottles. So many people came by. And then we brought it to the Redemption Center. And the guy, it's so funny how he counts it. We back up the U-Haul. We have a designated corner of a garage. And the guy's like, that's $470. He hands me $470, and we put that towards a fundraiser that we were doing for the house fire.
Yep.
On Elmfield, and then people mistakenly brought it's that kind of can drive. They were bringing food items, non-perishable cans.
Okay.
So we said, all right, this time we're gonna do can and bottle and food drive.
Oh, okay.
So it's this Saturday.
Yep. The 20th.
February 20th, 1 to 4 at Gastro Park. Gastro Park is a great place. They have like 3 or 4 food trucks. All the foods. I was just there yesterday. I had relish this salmon burger, and I had a veggie burrito from Crunyon's. And then a bean empanada.
Gee.
And then I think the day before that, I had tomato chunk pizza, which was phenomenal. So get down to Gastro Park, and I really hope to see you this Saturday, 1 to 4. It's going to be a can and bottle drive for 5 cents, and then food. All the food's going to go to the West Hartford Pantry. Yep, food pantry, and then all the money for the Redemption Center is going to go to our current fundraiser that is for the family that had recently lost their father.
Yep. Exchange Club was able to make a $2,000 donation to the food pantry
wow.
after Thanksgiving. They said that they would need more help after Thanksgiving, so we did that around the holiday season, Christmas. So that was another way we were able to outreach to our community, was through the food pantry.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
We, the food pantry needs it. There's people.
The food pantry needs are different than they used to be, because it's so more widespread for the need right now.
Yeah.
It's not all about disadvantaged families who are, a small percentage of our community. Our percentage is growing weekly due to the COVID-19 pandemic. So people that you would imagine, are doing pretty good are maybe just like ducks paddling like crazy under the water just to make sure, And I got to give a lot of credit to the kids who are staying focused on school to to keep doing what you're doing to feel successful, because this too will pass, and hopefully an important lesson will have been learned about your own self, you know, and your family.
Yeah, you never know what someone's going through. Like you said, paddling like crazy underwater, but on the surface, they look
okay.
Yep.
You know, so
we have that. Just recently, a couple professional developments. You have the learning brain and survival brain. So when you're on survival brain, you're thinking of when you're going to get your next meal, where am I going to sleep tonight? Not learning brain, where, let me focus on what the teacher's saying. Let me read this chapter and follow up and get some information. So and then there was another great term, the invisible backpack. Everyone's carrying an invisible backpack. You don't know what's in my invisible backpack. You're carrying your past, your day.
And I think that's pre or post pandemic. That's always been, you know, and especially at my age group at the middle school, you know, their backpack was a pretty good size. Your second graders have stuff in their pack, but it's not too heavy yet. Hopefully, you know.
And also, we just have collaborating with WeHa Roasting. We're collaborating with Fresh Ink. I want to share some gear. You should get one of these, Marty. Come on.
Okay.
Saturdays.
I need more Feeney stuff.
More Feeney stuff. Saturdays are for friends.
Okay.
We're copying Barstool Sports. Hopefully they sue us. We need some press. Or we got long sleeves.
Oh, there you go.
Be a good friend.
All right.
Someone mentioned you're always doing Whalers colors.
I like that one. It kind of goes good with your shirt here.
Yeah, you contrast the hoodie.
All right, I'll have to look into that one.
Be a good friend.
I'll have to get the big boy size on that one.
We got you.
What about you said something earlier about a sock design type thing, or do you want to talk about that for a minute?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Because you were saying that lots of makerspace opportunities, you know, but there's also a new design thing you've got going.
That's right. Thank you for reminding me. That's awesome. That was funny. I got my essentials. I'm still on. It's school day.
Okay.
220 specials. We got to get the kids cleaned up, ready for art.
Yeah.
Teacher life. Sockstarz, a phenomenal company. They hire people that have individual needs. They collaborate and are branched off of Hark.
Okay.
And they're right on LaSalle Road. They and they have wonderful socks. Anything you want, from Cheetos to Oreos, the ones that fit nicely in between your toes.
Oh, wow.
Ooh, those are nice. My daughters love those.
Yeah.
Just really cool socks. And
will they design your own? Let's say you're having a family gathering or something, and you want to do something for like the family picnic or your dad's retirement.
Faces on them,
stuff like that.
So cool. They let us do Friends of Feeney socks. There's 6 left of these.
Wow.
And it said "Be a good friend" on the toe.
I bought those. I wore those on my trip to Aruba.
Oh, nice.
Yep. First class, took my shoes off, and they're my Friends of Feeney socks right out there.
Oh, you know, they could have had a nice picture of you on the chair at the beach.
Oh, there you go.
And then, you know, people take pictures of their feet with the ocean. Come on,
have to go
Marty.
back. I will plan
next
on that.
time. Socks on the beach. Who does that? Perfect for a perfect promo pic.
Yep.
But
so the design piece?
Back to Sockstarz. We've been in collaboration. They were wonderful. We sold, you know, like there's 6 left, so we sold 154 socks. They got 160 of them. But this time, kids, contest, sock design contest. You're hearing it here first. If it goes with the theme, friends, being a good friend, you will design the sock. And we're going to pick the winner, and your sock will be produced and sold at Sockstarz. So more to follow, but you name your sock design. You have to, you know, it's got to be your own artwork. Please only do up to 5 colors because they want to make sure they can print these.
Is this going to be on the Friends of Feeney website?
Yep. It's going to be on the Friends of Feeney. I was trying to work it out. I wanted to get it on today or tomorrow.
Okay.
And it says, Feeney socks are really fun. You can wear them when you run. Feeney socks are really neat. You can wear them when you eat. Feeney socks are really slick. You can wear them when you kick. Feeney socks are really fine. You can create your own design. Yeah, I'm excited to see what the kids will make because Makerspace, the kids are so creative, making things.
Limits on the number of colors or anything like that?
So 5 colors. And we want it to be about being a good friend and helping and just
Awesome.
looking forward to all your wonderful submissions.
Yep.
Go. Sockstarz is also going to have some information. I'm hoping to get this out this week, so if people have their submissions, they can bring them to the can drive and hand them in there
nice.
and start collecting designs there. Or you could send it to, our Friends of Feeney at gmail.com, or go down to Sockstarz on LaSalle Road and pick up some socks.
Okay, and some more details about the end date and all that other stuff will be coming.
Yep, will be coming out. Yeah, we don't have an end date yet, but we're just excited to share it. And Patricia's down there is fantastic. She's our partnership and going forward, and a collaboration has been working out. So
perfect.
Really cool. You have a hobby that's very interesting. You make things. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Books.
Oh, the pop-up books?
Pop-up books. You want to talk about that? I think that's a very creative hobby. Do you collect them
or
do you make them?
No, I don't make them. Paper engineering is a lot more difficult than just what the kids are doing at school. What's that Japanese stuff?
Origami.
Origami. It's way beyond that.
I wish I should have known. We could have had a little show and tell. You could have brought a couple pop-up books.
I can come back and visit another time.
Yeah.
I had a chance early on in my career to go to a couple of book shows. And I was even unaware of pop-up books. But by going to the book show, I saw a presentation of these. And it just made the book come alive. So from that point on, because it was unique, I took a chance and started collecting them. So there's some really high-end books, not only just because of the paper engineering that goes into it, but because of the topic. A whole book on Michelangelo, right? Or on Leonardo da Vinci. There's good information there. I've also got the children's books that pop up. It's, Little Red Riding Hood, and it's very simple. So what I love about it is I could have used them in my instruction. I was able to use some things about the Montezuma. I have one on the Aztecs. I have some things on topics that I could talk about at school. So it was a nice intro to a lesson as well.
Oh, yeah. Catch the eye. It's the hook. Yeah. The hook for the lesson.
Absolutely. And if you show your interest and your passion in lots of things, you can hook a few kids as you go along.
Do you have them like they're collector's items where they're pricey? Do you have like an expensive one?
I don't think that I've gotten that far, but it's interesting. Another thing that I've gotten involved with locally is the Fernley Lawn Bowling Club. It's over on behind the Butterfly Restaurant. And it's a historic monument. This lawn bowling club is the oldest lawn bowling club in America. It's on the historic register. And so that in itself got me interested in it. But then by playing the game, I loved it. So I'm anxious for the season to start again. But I met a gentleman there during conversations that he worked for a company that mass-produced the original design of whatever book was being produced. So he had some smaller versions of greeting cards and things that he just had them in his house. So when he saw my passion for that, he gave them to me so I could put them in with my collection. So I was really, really pleased. Wow. So that's another thing. When you start to get out in the community and you start to interact with people, you start to realize that there's other people out there interested or maybe even more involved in the things that you are. So
great community. Great community. I love.
Yeah.
You meet some really wonderful people. My daughters have a Wizard of Oz pop-up book, which is pretty intricate. Yep. It pops up to the balloon.
Oh, nice.
With strings. It's not just like, hey, that one little flap.
Right.
It like flaps.
Sure.
And then one page you put on the emerald glasses and everything's in emerald. Yeah. So it was really cool, and they loved it as a kid.
Joseph Sabuda is the name that jumps out at me as the guy that it really does a nice job. And he's got certain themes. He's got Christmas themes. He's got God Bless America. So you open it up, and each page that opens up, it's another iconic American symbol. The Golden Gate Bridge pops up, the Statue of Liberty pops up. So all these wonderful, the Archway of St. Louis pops up. So it's kind of cool, And so even bookstores, if you have a chance to ever walk through a bookstore, ask them, where are your pop-ups? Because sometimes there's some that are already undone, and you can investigate them.
All right. And look at them while you're there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gotcha. Smart. Well played.
Yeah.
That's a move. I like that move. And then lawn bowling. Now, is that like bocce? Croquet?
Bocce is oftentimes played in a dirt lane, a box kind of a situation. This is We have a beautiful lawn that's groomed, and it's almost like a putting green. And so we bowl on grass. And so that in itself is a unique thing. And then
Do you have to wear white?
We have 2 tournaments where we go traditional that way, but normally no. But it is an older group of people, which has been great too, and especially around COVID. We were all very respectful for our distancing and our masking, but it still gave us a chance to get out into the fresh air and things of that nature. And the competition I love. It was great. So it is a lot like bowling, but the ball itself, unlike bocce's pretty much of a straight bowling ball. Lawn bowling bowls are weighted, and they're oblong to a little bit, so you can turn them in towards where it is that you want to go.
Do you have your own set?
I don't. I was able to rent some from this year. They're really expensive because they're really not an American sport. I'd say the world champions are the New Zealanders. So anything I look online for anything about lawn bowling, sends me to New Zealand. So the bowls themselves aren't expensive, but the shipping is usually 3 times what it is. So I'm just going to rent.
Wow, that's cool.
But it's a lot of fun, So some night when we have open bowls, I'll have to have you come over and take a peek.
I'm an all-around athlete, I don't miss free throws.
Because growing up, we used to do the duck pin bowling.
Yeah.
And so, there really is the same thing. It's just knocking down. You're not knocking down the pins. You're trying to get closest to the smaller ball.
What's that called? There's a cool name.
I want to say the jack. It's the jack.
And does someone throw it out?
Right, you throw it out at a certain distance, and then it's whoever gets closest. So it's a lot like bocce, but there's a little bit more sophistication to it with the weightness and it being on grass. So I love it.
Neighbor.
Yeah.
She always makes an appearance. She works right over here.
Very nice.
So, man, I like that, lawn bowling.
Yep.
I saw that once. I visited my dad in North Carolina, and we went to Pinehurst just to look around.
Yes.
And lawn bowling was huge there.
Okay. Yeah, around the country club,
yeah.
possibly.
And they were all in white.
Yeah.
Wait, yeah, I think it had to be that.
Right. And there's also a club over at Elizabeth Park that's different.
So what makes it there's just paperwork that says it's the historical first spot?
Oh, they've got all the paperwork. Yeah, they have the original land purchase, which was a swamp, and then they filled it all in, and they created what they have, and they have a lovely little quaint clubhouse that's there. And when you become a member, you have access to that. So even if it wasn't a good bowling night or it was on the weekend and you had some friends and you wanted to go over and bowl, it's your space.
We're about from the butterfly. Say
if you're instead
of pulling in the driveway. All right.
If you were going, instead of turning to go into the butterfly, and you went to the next road, Lancaster, and went up Lancaster about 100 yards and then pulled into the parking lot, there it is. So, it's been sitting there for years, and I knew it was there. Having grown up in town, so I knew it was there, but I didn't know that I would become a member of it. And so when it became a possibility, I jumped at it.
Yeah, I'm surprised that you didn't know, because that's what's really gained my interest and my respect for you when I introduced you at your retirement dinner and you got up. And knowing that you're from West Hartford, it made sense that you knew so much historical things about the town, which was so impressive. And just I was learning at a recognition dinner,
yes,
like all these facts and historical facts about what the parks were named after. Army soldier that has passed away, they honored him with a park, and I always mess it up. It's either Stanley or Sterling.
It's Sterling Field.
Okay.
Named after Gordon Sterling, the first airman to be shot down over Pearl Harbor as they were fighting the Japanese during the attack on Pearl Harbor. There's a whole story
December
that goes
7th?
by him. Yes, 1941. So.
And he's a West Hartford
guy. He graduated from Hall High School, went to Trinity, learned how to fly, went to the Army Air Corps. Things happened where he was stationed out at Wheeler Field in Hawaii, and then the attack took place, and serendipity got him inside of a cockpit, and he went up in a plane and started fighting, but he was shot down, and the officers club now at Wheeler Field is named Gordon Sterling pub, I guess. I don't know what it would be named after, but we named our field here in West Hartford Sterling Field. So
yeah, it's a great honor.
It was kind of neat to learn a little bit more about that, and we're kind of hoping to have another dedication of it. It's all been resodded. It looks great over there. Last year wasn't used because of all the COVID, so none of the sports played over there, so it had another year to grow.
Do you have any other West Hartford facts?
Well, I mean, I was just driving around the other day, and that whole Kane Street area was woods when I was growing up. And I went to Charter Oak School, so I grew up over there. I watched Route 84 get built. You know, that was summer vacation days. We'd go over and watch them blow up stuff, you know, and get building 84. And then as they started to grow more around Kane Street, that McDonald's was there. It was the first thing, you know, 10-cent hamburger, 15-cent shakes, you know, summer vacation.
Now, where's Kane Street? Is that over by
Off
Gold
of-
Rock?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. So all those apartments
Yep.
were woods. Kennedy Park wasn't there
I know who
yet.
that's named after.
Yeah. My brother was the first kid in the pool. That was a ceremonial cannonball with,
Really?
with the mayor. Yeah. So I was able
He
to
could say I was the first one in
he
that
was.
pool.
My brother Kevin Keena was the first kid in the pool at Kennedy Park. And, you know, you have that ceremonial picture. So I went over to the state library, the Historical Society, had to go through the microfiche, but I found the picture and had it printed up and got it to him for a Christmas present or something, you know.
Wait, they got the action shot?
Yeah.
Of the
he was
cannonball?
like, yeah, he was like,
Get
I don't
out.
know, 9 years old or something. So there he was, you know, true to form.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So our family's been around doing some things.
Oh, yeah, you're also famous. You're in the entrance of Beachland Tavern, right? Aren't you in the entrance?
One of the team pictures that's there?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What year and
That
team
was
was that?
1969. That was our 9th grade baseball team from Talcott Junior High School.
Champions? Or
We might have been champions. I remember our record, but there were 4 junior high schools back then, and we played sports. You know, we had soccer, baseball, basketball, wrestling.
for the team? For the school?
School teams. So Talcott and Sedgwick, King Philip, and Plant. And Plant now is, you know, elderly housing, as is, well, Talcott now is.
Where's Talcott?
Talcott is Quaker Green, across from Walgreens in Elmwood.
Oh, okay.
That big brick building.
Yep. And where's Plant?
Plant is now senior housing on the corner of pretty much Lancaster, over near the Butterfly.
Yep.
So it's Plant.
That's one thing I'll never understand, West Hartford. Come on, get these kids middle school sports.
Yeah.
That's a conversation for another
The
day.
intramural program can be good or it can be flat.
It's a town team, I get it.
Right.
But
Yeah.
you build
But we
that-
also didn't have travel teams and, you know, a team for every sport in the world, you know, in town. We had when I was growing up, the basketball league hadn't even started yet, so we had youth football and we had youth baseball. I mean, that was it, and it was nothing for girls. So we played little league, or we went up through the little league. I played through little league and up through Legion ball, and then football. Once you got to the high school, that was it. So, but a great place to go. I mean, if we didn't have 2 high schools to draw from, we have a heck of a lot of athletes in this town that we could have been winning multiple state titles.
I
But
know.
we've always diluted our
you separate the talent.
Yeah, our talent. And even the American Legion team, you can only draw from 3 high schools, and we had 4, being Kingswood was in town as well. So the year that I was a senior and playing, we omitted ball players from Northwest Catholic. So, I mean, that was a shame because I played with those guys as well in the Hartford Current League, JC Current League. But, it was what it was. But good ball players. And if we were able to assimilate everybody, we would have had strong clubs.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yep.
Who stands out? Anyone athletically go on to do something from West Hartford on one of these teams?
Well, in my class, I don't know playing wise, but Gary Larocque became captain of the basketball team at University of Hartford, I believe it was, and then got himself involved through associations. This is all hearsay now. I think through Tommy Lasorda, he got very much involved with the baseball programs, Major League Baseball, and I think he's a scout for the Cardinals, or has something to do with the St. Louis Cardinals now, but I think so. So I'm kind of hoping that our high school reunion thing happens so I can, get the story straight from what everybody's up to. But, we also lost people in our senior year to accidents, that were super athletes that I think had futures, but, they died way too early. So we had a successful time, interesting time to grow up.
Yeah, those were the good old days.
Yeah, summer of love.
And then also you're on a podcast now, but you also hosted a podcast radio show.
Yeah, we
right?
had a live radio show. My friend Jeff Sherman, it was called The Business Buzz with Jeffrey Sherman. for a number of years down at Wesleyan University, WESU. So we did that for a number of years. Kind of manifested the topics as time went on. Pretty much ended it in a political format, but we were also in a business format back in the 80s when everybody was struggling, and we'd have psychologists on or people that help with folks making their resumes, things of that nature. Strategies.
So how many years do you think?
I did it for about 12. Jeffrey was doing it before I did, so now we're not doing it at Wesleyan. He's doing something, his own podcast now, and but it was fun while it lasted. I loved doing it. We had some great guests. We even had Roger Stone on one Friday afternoon. I didn't realize how infamous Roger was going to become, but we actually had him on, so it was kind of interesting.
What did he do? Did he do
Roger Stone
JFK
was one,
or no? Oliver Stone. That's Oliver Stone.
Yeah, Roger Stone was one of Trumper's boys. He got the pardon and the commutation and everything.
Okay, wow, that's an interesting one.
Yeah.
Is any possibility of having these recordings? Or
no, well, they were on their own sort of like replay format at Wesleyan, and I think they just self-destruct after a certain part of time.
And then you took phone calls?
We had a nice call-in show. People would call in, and sometimes we had a few, sometimes we had 14, 15, and it was great. It was one of the few formats, on that station that kind of opened it up to the community. They were a community radio.
That's awesome. Dave, we got to get call-ins.
That was fun. Yeah.
Call-ins.
Yeah.
Facebook Live. Well, people do the comments now.
Yes.
Call-ins. That's fun.
Yep.
Yeah, you're perfect.
Kind of a beau vivant here, a Renaissance man. Yeah.
Back in your heyday.
That's it. Right now, we're just shoveling the hay, trying to find a vaccine.
Yeah, 44 years of teaching, president of the Exchange Club. Yeah, a historian, and just a really good dude. And I really appreciate everything that you do. I like hanging out with you. I learn something new every day. You're like a role model to me.
Thank you.
Man, it was
Appreciate
great to have you on. It means a lot. 40 minutes with Feeney?
You're right at about 4 minutes.
40 minutes with Feeney. Well, let me just a couple more shout-outs. Anything else you would like to share before?
Well, I'm just would encourage everybody that's paying attention to the podcast to understand that this is all real, that the money goes to the people that he says it's going to. The West Hartford Exchange Club is trying to openly encourage Eric to join us so that we can bring our energies together and become even more popular and more beneficial to the community. But just want to let everybody know that we are still 100% behind them. And we're looking forward to Saturday to unload some cans of food and 5-cent recyclables. And, off we go, trying to make the best of a world which is not at its best right now.
All right. Yeah, you took it right from me. That was awesome. Perfect. I was going to say something about Friends of Feeney can drive and bottle drive and food. So please, 1 to 4. I posted this after the Super Bowl, so hopefully people have their collections going.
Good.
And it's going to be a great time. Hopefully the weather's going to be better than last time because it was absolutely freezing. I was such a skeptic of those little hand warmer bags.
Yes.
I'm like, those things stupid. Those don't work. I put them on, and I was like, like it saved my life.
We got to find you a bodysuit now.
To save my life. And plus, I had so many different layers. I had dry fit T-shirt, dry fit long sleeve, the hoodie, because I wanted the Friends of Feeney hoodie to be on the outside.
Yeah.
I didn't want a winter coat.
Sure.
I needed to show off.
Yeah.
But everyone's like, you need to put on a coat. I was like, that's not the problem. It's my hands were so
the hands
cold.
and the feet, when those go, it's over.
So cold. But yes, we thank Tate, is a great friend, and he's at Gastro Park. They're doing wonderful things. Get the coffee. It's good stuff. Yeah. And get the hat. We just got 100 more hats. They'll be available at the can drive. $15. Everything that we sell, all donations, all the cans are going to go to our current fundraiser. It's for the Hamill family. Go check it out on Facebook. I'll put a link on the end of this podcast. I'll put a link of our pictures from the Exchange Club. We'll put a picture from our Hartford Battle of the Badges. So you're going to see a lot of pictures of Marty volunteering.
Makerspace, maybe. Who knows?
And then if you volunteer, who knows? You may get a Star Award.
Yeah.
We're looking for volunteers. We're looking for supporters. Again, this is Friends of Feeney. Our mission is to help children and families that have heartbreak or tragedy. This podcast has helped spread awareness about our mission and our goals. It couldn't have been done without Dave from Direct Line Media. I have a good friend here, Marty. I'm so happy that you get to be on here. I feel like episode 11, I feel like 1 to 10 was season 1. So you're the first one of season 2. So that's very special to me. So
Good, thank you.
Episode 11 goes to Marty.
Okay.
And I want to talk about my shirt, System X. System X donated last year when we marched in the St. Patrick's Day Parade. And we raised money for the Bridge Family Center. We raised, I want to say $2,000, but System X donated from their business, and then the owner of System X also donated out of his own pocket to the Bridge Family Center. My brother works there, so Andrew Feeney works there. It's in Thomaston, Connecticut. System X is they put like this nice coating on your car or your airplane, so it's nice, slick shine to it where you don't have to wash it as much. It's scratch proof.
Nice.
But systemx.com, check him out. Ask for Andrew Feeney. I'm really proud of him. He's moving up the ranks. Like he started off in a position, and then he's almost close to the top.
Nice.
I'm really proud of little bro. Like you said, your brother jumped in the pool. That's a memory you'll always have.
Sure.
He'll always be my little brother, even though he's an inch taller than me and 7 years younger than me.
Yeah.
But System X, 860-358-0119. So check them out, systemx.com. Again, thank you, Marty. Thank you, Dave. We're at Direct Line Media. It's right here on New Park. Video, for all your video productions or anything you need, come see Dave. He's a great guy. And I want to thank again the West Hartford community for coming together and getting behind and supporting an unfortunate event. Someone had a house fire and lost a loved one, but over 400 people donated. This community cares. The community members are fantastic. The business members are fantastic. And I couldn't be happier to be a part of this community. And see you Saturday. Marty, thank you. Dave,
Got it.
thank you. Buy a hat. See you guys. Thanks, Marty.